Started the plantation here around the 1870s, and they're basically the oldest plantations in Vermont.
Hi, my name is Jean Elizabeth, and I'm a park ranger at Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park, and I'm speaking to you from the 3rd Annual Vermont Fine Furniture and Woodworking Festival at the Union Arena here in Woodstock, Vermont. The National Park has a partnership with this annual event because we at the National Park continue to manage our forest on Mount Tom as a working landscape. The National Park were planted by Frederick Billings back in the 1870s and were continually managed by his children and grandchildren up until 1997 when it became a national park as a gift by Mary and Lawrence Rockefeller. And Mary Rockefeller was a granddaughter of Frederick Billings. We do have local craftsmen that turn our trees into beautiful bowls, pens, as well as other products, and you can see some of those displayed at our visitor center at the National Park in the carriage barn.
My name is Charles Herman, and I'm a volunteer here at the Billings Farm Museum, and my purpose is to explain the Vermont heritage in wooden bowls. Wooden bowls have been important to Vermont since the very beginning. Usually folks that come by the table here today, the first one that bowl that they look at is this one right here. This is a bowl made of walnut and butternut cross sections made by Bunt Latterell from Bridport, Vermont. And it's quite unusual. If you look at it closely, you can see when you cross-section a nut like that, you get that wonderful design. This bowl here is made in Granville, Vermont, by the Granville Manufacturing Company, and has been since the 1850s. If you look at it closely, the first thing people say is, why do you have a bowl that has holes throughout it? Well, this bowl came from a tree that was used as a sugar bush. These are tap holes here, where holes were drilled, taps were put in, and they collected syrup. Vermont at one time was a large producer of wooden spoons and forks. Of course, that ended with the competition in the 1950s. This particular set and this particular bowl was made by Stowware in Stowe, Vermont. And if you'll notice, it has some beautiful decorations on it. This bowl here is probably my favorite design bowl. It's yellow birch, and it has a magnificent leaf design in it. The patina is just beautiful. This was made in this area of Vermont back in the 1950s, and it was probably made for Green Mountain Studios. This rooster right here is one of my carvings, and this rooster was inspired by a picture in the Vermont Life from the 1950s. This rooster was a carousel rooster carved by Edmund Brown in St. Johnsbury, and it's become an icon for people who are interested in carousel carvings or any kind of carving. Here we have an old Vermont trencher, probably made around the turn of the last century out of maple, and all hand carved. To finish here, I'd like to show you just one of a wonderful bowl, if you can get the light there, that was made in Granville by Granville Manufacturing. Granville Manufacturing still makes bowls similar to this. This was made in probably late 1930s. It's labeled on the back, Edward Hutchins, who owned the bowl, perhaps worked at the mill, and was responsible for turning it. And then it's identified and decorated on the bottom. This is a wonderful historic bowl because not only do we have the bowl identified as a Granville bowl, but we also have on it the Moss Glen Falls just north of the Granville Manufacturing, which is a bit of an icon in that area. It's a beautiful waterfall right on 100, and probably the same water that passed over this falls ran the bowl mill too at one time anyway.
Staff would have, Lori Wilkes, and this is Mike Woods, and we're playing here today at the Rockefeller Billings Center. Usually here we play once a month on a day that's an open house, and normally we're playing on the veranda of the Rockefeller Mansion, but today we're having some good old New England rain, and so we're playing here in the carriage house.